This is Bottom Line Liberia. This is Bottom Line Liberia.
We want to say welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia discussions on this weekend, Friday, the 18th of July 2025. Gradually moving towards August, but we we're happy to be here. And let me say welcome to my colleague Paul the Lord Cholople there in London, and hopefully uh, other colleagues may be joining. But if not, it's going to be the two of us driving here. You know, the bottom line Liberia is never short of people. If one is down, two are up, three down, one up. So we have to move on. But we want to say welcome to those of you who follow us religiously, and we also follow you. It is a pleasure to always have you. Paul, good afternoon or good evening from your end.
Good evening, Linford. It's good to be back on the bottom line discussion, and good evening to our audience. Today, I'm happy to be among the living, my brother. What else can I say? I'm happy to be in paradise. What say you? Are you in paradise or are you waiting to go to paradise?
I am in paradise, and the good thing about it is that paradise is warm. You know, in Norway, we have very strange weather. We have very early summer this year in May, which was surprising to everybody. So we were preparing for the worst. We normally say if we get good weather in the winter, the sun shining, then we'll pay for it. We'll go. And
Yeah.
then June, June was up and down. The summer should be very good in June. It was up and down. About a week it was hot, and then we went back to rain again. But on the other flip side, the last 2 weeks now in this July, well, the second and the third week now in this July, we've been having very good sunshine. Yesterday, today, and it will continue tomorrow. Day, I think there will be rain on Monday. But I don't know how you guys are coping with it. It's hot. I mean, Norway when it gets cold, it's cold. When it gets hot, it's there, my man. Like the fire around you is so hot that we I mean everybody we went to all the beaches. The small town I live in, we got a few beaches there. We went there and packed everybody there. The people who you normally don't see, they were packed. So we went to look for another area where we think that secret area we went there. More people were there. So there. But we having good weather. That's a good thing about it in paradise.
Yeah, you see that's the beauty because the places in Europe that get extremely cold during the summer, it got extremely hot. Yeah, and people the same thing I experienced when I was in Kiev and Moscow. During the summer over there, it get up to 40 degrees. I mean, it's get extremely hot. I mean, so as just it's get colder, it's get hotter the same way. So yeah, but we enjoying the weather here. It's good. We having a very good summer. But then when we start enjoying the weather, that means the cold weather come in early. You see, that's another thing too that we could look at. Because when it start raining, like all across other places, it can be hot in the UK, they'll start feeling that chill. You see, I know Russia up to October, you can still feel warm weather at some point. But here it's already freezing cold. So we're making the most of what we enjoy in the sunshine. I mean, in Liberia, we say, oh, it raining, small rain, people say the cold. But that cold when you in it, where you be able to take out your shirt, say the place how the so I mean where we come from is different, but it is where it is. So what say you? What's the topic for today, brother?
Well, today we're not going to confine ourselves to special topic. We'll do random talking. For instance, we'll talk about the protest yesterday from your own angle, whether you think it was successful, and whether I think it was successful, and if it was successful from my angle, I'd say the reason why I think it was successful and stuff like that. We want to make it the kind of the freestyle kind of talking, and then I think we will look at a little bit of foreign news, of course, what's happening on the other side. So it will be interesting. And the reason why it will be interesting is that we're not going to confine ourselves to one topic, one political topic, and waste all of our time only. So we will make it random, just what you think about, and make a topic for today. And and of course, there's a lot to talk about from yesterday, from the the protest. I think it's a lot to talk about. So uh, we look forward to those discussions. And for people who are joining us for the first time, we want to say stay with us. This is the Bottom Line Liberia discussions, where we discuss the issues without any bias or any prejudice. We say it as it is, with respect. Um, and so I don't know what you thinking about from the foreign desk.
Oh, for the foreign desk, look, Ifa, before we there's something funny about from the foreign desk. It's quite interesting. And there was a conversation between Zelensky and Donald Trump.
Hmm.
And this conversation now is now causing Ukrainian to pay the price for that conversation. There was a leak manuscript from the conversation between Donald Trump and Zelensky. The journalist brought it out. That Donald Trump asking Zelensky, are you capable of hitting Moscow and St. Petersburg? And he said, yes, if you gave her the weapon, we would do it.
Hmm.
So all along, the Russian now working out that this guy been playing two-faced about his so-called peace talk. Then in other news, the most Nazi country at the moment on planet Earth, Israel, they went and bombed or killed the church while the people were in church praying in Gaza.
Hmm.
So we know that the Israeli they don't like Christians. So this is typical. But we're not hearing we're not hearing about that one. But if this was something that happened in Ukraine, that Russia have bombed or Catholic Church, all the media institution will be talking about it. How this man is barbarian, but on the other side, the guy they support the arm, they can't talk about it. So that's the interesting thing on the foreign end. And also, I will not waste our time what is happening in Syria and Israel because this they started it again. So, but going forward, the protest from all angles, we have to look at the protest. Something about that protest and the government of Liberia, and something I will talk about. Thousands of people came out. The president did not receive the petition, but he was able to pick up protester poster and laugh about it. It's something we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Is this
And
guy a serious president? When thousands
and
come out and you mock at them, think on it. Yeah.
and I think like you said it right. First we discussed that meeting, that leaked uh, video from the meeting with Trump and Zelensky. You see,
Mhm.
Zelensky is not really smart, and this is the reason why being street smart and being popular, they are two different things.
Mhm.
The guy was a comedian, but he's not really smart. No, the first thing you should know, you should look at examples of things that have happened around you where America is involved. America come through NATO and they say, you want to establish peace, and Russia say, no, don't do that. And you say, I will do it. With the promises that you receive, you agree, and you're working. You've been going for years. first it was like most people say, oh man, with NATO backing, Russia will back off. And we've gone all this time. And when Zelensky met with Trump, Trump told him that the thing you play with is bigger than you. This is World War III. It could be World War III. And that was some kind of warning, meaning if you don't do what I want, I will let the other people do what I want, and it will be against you. That was a writing on the wall. Well, again, with the assurance from European countries that call themselves the coalition of the willing, well, probably there was something that he was actually assured of, and he became adamant. But when we come back, we'll discuss details of all of those. So we're going to take our musical break, and we can share the show during that time. And then our viewers, if you join us, just click the like button. And anytime we come on, you'll be notified. Share the show with your friends. And I don't know if you're watching, if there's any feedback, if you get any feedback, just let us know what we're experiencing it. But if you can hear it from your side, then you let us know by posting in the chat box. So we're going to take a quick musical break, and when we get back, we'll be talking about details of what we just hinted you. And so welcome to this edition of the Bottom Line Liberia Discussions. Paul the Lord Chudikli is there in London, and I am here in Norway. Together, we will be in the driver's seat tonight to give you the much needed information. Just forgive me, I'm trying to lay hand on something. But Paul, if you can lay a hand on our national anthem, then you can let it roll. I'm trying to locate it.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I got it.
I think.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, so much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust, my people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt.
trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. Your spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Well, we are back again on the bottom line Liberia discussions, and this is where we give you the story as they happen. Paul, you want us to start from the international front. The war in Ukraine has been dragging on. That war started, and people thought it was going to be, a few days thing, and then it's over with. Maybe Russia is defeated or Ukraine is defeated, but then the both sides remain adamant in the war. They continue, and Israel and Ukraine, they came with their 3-4 days war, 1 week war. They made it fast, ceasefire. And since then, we hear nothing. The Iron Dome. I think they said they will retire Iron Dome. But, well, before you go to the Russian thing, why I say that after Iran hit the Iron Dome, then we that only Syria posted. I mean that only Gaza, Israel still strong to fight. Why they can't go back to Iran? That only Gaza now.
Linford, when you go about say you the heavy giant around beating people, then you go borrow one small guy, just take something from honor you believe it and give government farina. You go home, you scratching your head. I got much to give me government farina. That's what happened in Israel. Yeah, because Tehran actually gave them government farina.
Yeah, but I seen Israel. I didn't want to David and Goliath before, so the Goliath bought with David. But guys, on a serious note, there's a serious war ongoing in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia, and I think Paul got a clip that we'll be looking at and we'll be discussing it. And this is serious. I mean, in this modern world, where we have something called the United Nations, that people are supposed to be living in peace. We are no more barbarians or barbarians, but we are still barbaric. Okay, we should be normal people because people have advanced. Go back, I don't know how old is it, but go back maybe 100,000 years ago. People did not know anything. People did not even know that they got a neighbor living behind the next bush. So they could do anything. But now you can literally sit down where I'm sitting now, and I'm looking at Port. We're in London, some 3-hour flight from here, and we can sit there and see people in America, 8-hour flight. But why I say that we are still living like we are in not even the stone age. We are in from the beginning when God created the heaven and the earth, according to them. And like we are living that time because at that time we don't know that there were other people around. So Paul, tell us about this war and the clip you got, and then we'll start from there.
No, you see, the whole thing now, what happened, the Russia has stepped all their offenses, the reason being, I think last week I brought the topic of that there will be a regime change in Kiev. The Russia will be there, the Americans that will announce one regime change. They will do what they're doing now. They will make the people to start asking Zelensky to back off because when he came out with a martial law that he cannot, because of wartime, there won't be election. But then what happened is when they keep pounding those people, at some point in time, somebody from there will start noise, and that noise will run him out. That's what's going to happen. Now, when this special operation started, it wouldn't meant to get these guys to their senses. But then NATO that have nothing to do with the war, I would say they said they're not part of it, but they instigated the whole thing because the whole idea was NATO, Ukraine cannot be part of NATO. NATO decided we will fight Russia by using Ukraine as a proxy. And then what happened? They pumped Ukraine with a lot of weapons and all that. Remember the beginning of the special operation? Oh, the Ukrainians are winning this war. They are winning this war. So the Russians said, okay. When those guys worked around it with all their satellite images that they were getting, who were involved, they kept giving the West warning. You can do whatever you want to do, but any of the Western weapon, when it hit anywhere in Russia, the country that involved will come after you. And then Boris Johnson, at the time, the Prime Minister of UK, said, oh, this guy is bluffing. That's just a bluff. So what happened? When they gave the go ahead, when the Americans and the British did something, and that's why the Russians used their newly state-of-the-art weapon that the West was not aware of. And then they back off. Trump came to office. He said he would end the war in 24 hours. Yes, he tried. But then on the other side, Trump is playing two-faced. He gave him weapon, and then he's talking to Putin that, oh, you stop the war, but we'll continue fighting on the other side. But being one of the smartest leader in the world, Putin, that this is the guy, he does not talk much, but he's a good chess player. And he been in this diplomatic arena for years before Donald Trump ever talked about being president. Remember, this guy served in East Germany as a KGB boss there. It's no small potato. He understands the geopolitics of the world. So he look at this guy and say, look at this little man. You don't know what you're playing with. We made our position clear that Ukraine cannot be part of NATO. But I read NATO not supposed to be around because the Warsaw Pact have dissolved. So what the purpose of NATO? It was to counter out the Warsaw Pact. There's no longer Warsaw Pact. So all of the European countries now, there were 32 of them, they all behind America say, oh, the North Alliance for protection. So what happened, this few days, Trump and Zelensky had a conversation. And the conversation will play what he said. And the journalists managed to grab the manuscript of that conversation. Trump said was shocked how they got it. So we'll look into this. So this clip are going to come our way. It's about 9 minutes, but we'll not lay rule for 9 minutes. We'll cut it short in the middle. We just and for Facebook, the source of this information is from CNN. We don't own it, so we're only using the information that we're getting from this. So just the CNN information. To our audience, we want your comment. This is what we put before we get to Liberia. Let me roll the thing.
There is a massive attack underway in Ukraine. So far, we understand at least 17 explosions in a matter of minutes. 17 explosions across the city, one of the largest cities in Ukraine tonight. According to officials there, most of the strikes are targeting a civilian area in Kharkiv. The attack coming as stunning new details are emerging about a phone call between President Trump and Zelensky. Now, it is the Financial Times that has obtained much of this information, and they are reporting that Trump asked Zelensky on this call, this is what the FT says, Volodymyr, can you hit Moscow? Can you hit St. Petersburg too? The FT says this is according to multiple people familiar with the call. Sources who tell the FT that Zelensky then responded, absolutely, we can if you give us the weapons. Now, people briefed on the call, which took place one day after Trump spoke to Putin, said that Trump spoke about, quote, making the Russians feel the pain. So with all of this, Trump, of course, was asked about this today. Here's what he's saying publicly.
Should Zelensky target Moscow or deeper into Russia?
No, he shouldn't target Moscow.
All right. Well, that's what he's saying publicly. Privately, of course, could be a different matter. Sources tell CNN that despite Trump's public comments, he has not ruled out giving Zelensky new offensive weapons that Ukraine has long requested and previously been denied, like joint air-to-surface standoff missiles. Now, those missiles, perhaps not the range for Moscow or St. Petersburg, but they do go about 230 miles. And what that would do for Ukraine is put possibly 30 Russian additional air bases, 30, at risk. So Russia tonight is responding, and they're responding by going right there, all the way to the jugular, as they have done in other moments of great tension, and that is by threatening nuclear retaliation. Listen to this clip from state television in Russia that was uncovered by the journalist Julia Davis. She closely monitors Russian propaganda. Here's what she found.
Right now, they're considering giving them long-range weapons that can strike Moscow and St. Petersburg. What is Trump doing? He says, it isn't me. We understand that this is a lie. It's America. Therefore, we should clearly understand that we have to conduct a retaliatory strike against America and American forces. Yes. This is nuclear war.
Mincing no words there. This is nuclear war. Straight to that threat. And when it comes to Trump's threat to Putin, that Putin has 50 days to end the war or face massive sanctions, well, that is being met with a public shrug in Russia. Here's the foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov.
50 days? It used to be 24 hours. It used to be 100 days. We've been through all of this.
And longtime Putin ally, top Russian security official now, Dmitry Medvedev, posted, Trump issued a theatrical ultimatum to the Kremlin. The world shuddered, expecting the consequences. Belligerent Europe was disappointed. Russia didn't care. Well, moments ago, Trump was asked about why he believes Putin will suddenly care and will suddenly change everything in 50 days.
A lot of opinions change very rapidly. Might not be 50 days, might be much sooner than 50 days.
But again, this is all public versus private. Russia can say that it doesn't care, and maybe there's truth in it. But part of the reason there could be some truth in that is because so far, Trump has not followed his words with actions. So far. I mean, in January, Trump posted online, if we don't make a deal, and soon, I have no other choice but to put high levels of taxes, tariffs, and sanctions on anything being sold by Russia to the United States. 44 days later, on March 7th, he posts, I'm strongly considering large-scale banking sanctions and tariffs on Russia until a ceasefire and final settlement agreement on peace is reached. Well, time went by. Here's Trump on April 27th.
Do you trust President Putin? You know, in about 2 weeks.
Of course, nothing happened after any of those prognostications, and nothing happened after that 2-week time period. There was no sanctions, no tariffs, not then, not in January, not in March. But then again, here was Trump in May.
Do you still believe that Putin actually wants to end the war?
I can't tell you that, but I'll let you know in about 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we're going to find out very soon.
Right. I have to call it short because the main icing on the cake was the conversation between Zelensky and Trump. The day before he spoke to Putin, the next day he spoke to Zelensky. So he been double dipping, he been lying to these people. But before you come in other news today, the Russians are taking one of the key mineral plays in the Donbas region. They took it completely. The deal that Trump signed with Zelensky, the one the rare earth mineral, is now under the Russian control. So Ukrainian will not get it back. Remember when I said there will be a regime change? Economically, they're going to finish Ukraine. They will not be able to stand. Ukraine will end up being like Liberia. One will be the 8th poorest country. They might get closer to Liberia when they finish with them. This is where they're heading. So after that conversation, Linford, Russia decided now to punish Zelensky more. So they started hitting hard And what the target now is the western part of Ukraine, which share border with Poland. That's where the weapons are coming from. So they hitting the western part hard. So anything that is coming in, they're going to hit it. So talk to me, Linford. You watch the video, and to our audience who watch the video, drop your comment.
You see, it's interesting. Paul, you and I, we've been to Ukraine. I've been to Ukraine 3 different times, and I traveled widely. Just I don't remember the names of those places. And I've had when I started going to Ukraine for the first time, I have very great respect for that country. The fact that I was able to visit, the motherland statue, right? Where they got the motherland statue.
Yeah.
Right under there is a military museum. I visited a military museum, and I was very impressed. And I thought that was a good country. But after the fall of the Soviet Union, they also had their own problems. And so they were not up to standard like they used to be during the age of the days of the Soviet Union. So with all of these things happening, and the way Russia is taking all of the mineral-rich areas, I think Ukraine is off for trouble. And if Russia takes all of those places, what's going to automatically happen is that Russia will want to install, like you talk about regime change. You keep repeating about which I want to agree with you. Russia will say, okay, we have taken enough spaces or places, cities and towns in Russia or land area in Russia. So the areas that in Ukraine, the areas that are under our control will put our own leader. And then you will end up probably if Zelensky can control Kiev and a few other cities, you end up having two Ukraines, the Russian Ukraine and the ordinary Ukraine. But in a worst case scenario, they will go on a full blast and even try to get Ukraine out. Or what they got Zelensky. Ukraine.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, then they are going to install their own leadership and they will annex Ukraine to Russia. You see, remember they were once one group of people before. And when I went to Dnipropetrovsk, okay, in fact, they moved the Petrovsk, they started calling it Dnipro because they didn't want Russian influence. So when I went there, I found out that people were speaking Russian instead of the regular Ukraine.
That was the official language. It was after the it was the official language.
Yeah, because when I was in Kiev, I don't understand Russian, nothing. I don't understand Ukrainian, but I know the tune. So when I traveled to this place, the people were different. So I asked the person that was leading me, what are they speaking? She said they're speaking Russian. She said, well, they can speak both. You can speak Russian if you want. I can ask you in Russian if you want. You can answer me in Ukrainian. So you see, they have been the same people before. So if this trend continues, what Russia is going to automatically do is they're going to divide Ukraine. If at all Zelensky will still have some control, then they'll have two Ukraines, which we have to yet wait to see. But on the Trump factor, Trump, I think Zelensky should have known Trump. Like I said from the start of this show, Zelensky should have been street smart to know Trump or to know the American policy. Wherever America goes, they go there with interest. If you look at that video from way back where he was meeting with Zelensky, his interest was what? The mineral, the deal. Sign the deal. Once we have the deal, if they are signed that deal, whether Russia or taking other part of Ukraine, they will not care about it. The only place they will fight hard to protect will be wherever they got the mineral that they want. Trust me, that's what's going to happen. So Ukraine was still going to be not safe. So Zelensky made a mistake, and I don't know what he was depending on to have accepted the offer to become a NATO country. Well, as it stands, we wait to see what will happen. And Trump with a two-faced deal, I don't know how it's going to end. Because one day we ask him a But Putin is a very good friend. I can negotiate with him. Another day, he's talking to Zelensky. Can you hate Putin? So what does he want to what is Trump hoping to gain, or America hoping to gain in this war?
But then, Linfo, what Putin? Trump always pointing at Joe Biden, and it was during Joe Biden time when Russia gave that warning, saying if any Western weapon that is used on any major Russian city, the country that weapon come from will hit back. These guys, they still get, so when the audio came out, you heard a journalist. They guys said because if America authorized that, if Moscow is hit, Washington will be hit. That's why he said.
Did you listen to? I think it was the general or the guy before Lazarus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you listen to him? He said it. He said we'll strike back. This is a nuclear war.
That's what he's saying. So, and Trump, he just reminding that if you strike Moscow, if that American made weapon, Washington will be hit. And they're clear about that. They're not backing down. So if you try them, because you get nuclear weapon, I get nuclear weapon, that's a nuclear war. So try us, we'll hit you back. And all of this so-called coalition of the waiting in the West here, they will just wipe all of us out in Great Britain for stupid decision that will be made by the Prime Minister. Germany, on the other hand, because the Russians defeated them, it hurting them so bad they want revenge by all means. So they're now pushing Zelensky will give you long-range weapon. But this guy already gave them warning wherever it comes from. The moment it land in one of our major cities, the place it comes from will hit that place. And they won't back down. So they know that. So Trump got a warning a few days because he somersaulted after he have given, say he will sell the weapon to NATO. Now he said he's not going to sell it again. Because when he sell it, the Russians saying wherever it come from, whether you sell it, you don't sell it, it comes from.
Whether you buy it or you buy it, but once you see the trademark where it comes from, will go. You see, like I said, it's a very slippery situation because many years ago, I read a book. I read a book written by one William Foster, financing UK you live in. The title of that book is The Visible and Invisible Governments of America. And if you read that book, you'll get to know that the CIA, if they send somebody like during the Cold War, if they send any of that spies to Russia, that guy's not working for America. He's American CIA. But the moment he get a neutralizing, Russia will not use him to start working for them, for the KGB against the same American. And the same way when they send KGB agent to America, America will use him. And when I first read that thing, I was confused. Well, how? But then as I further read the book, I got to know what he meant. That is, this is a situation where when you are in, a Russian KGB officer is in Washington, who's sending you in, where you live, what you doing there, how do you sleep? All of your activities are monitored.
Yeah.
So you end up working for the American government against your own people. And the same thing with the CIA agent in Moscow. So that war politics is all deep, especially with these two countries, Russia and America. And why is it that the two countries can always threaten each other, but now one day see Russia attacking America or America attack? And do you know that Russia is more closer to America than people think?
It's close. It's very close. That one is no doubt.
But from Hawaii to Russia, it's just less than 2 hours.
It's close.
Very close. But people some people can think when they look at the map of Europe, they say, "Oh, but Russia, we're on it." No, America and Russia, they are closest than you can ever imagine. So the Russians, if they threaten that they will hit Washington, it means that they got a capability. Little known Iran. Nobody knew that Iran could devastate
Israel.
Or devastating blow to the iron dome, to our iron dome men there. Eh? So this world that we live in, everybody has become conscious. And I think this is where America now sees the threat. They don't want all of countries to have nuclear weapon because once you get a nuclear weapon, you are the boogeyman in the town, right? You will always be you will make people frightened. When somebody talk, you tell the boogeyman to them. When they all talk, you tell the boogeyman to them.
Yeah.
So everybody want to have it because if everybody have it, you can't threaten anybody anymore. You see, I remember when we were small boys. Oh, this will threaten you with the country devil. But when we join that, you can't threaten me again. No. Yeah, yeah. So the fly here, country devil, I fly go. I know it. You know me, I know it. So you see, that was just on the argument. So for my people, don't worry about it. But on a serious note, Paul, I said it in last time that something strong. I continue to say some kind of big war. It may not be war, but some kind of big war will take place among those powerful countries. We just saw an example with Iran and Israel, where when people were thinking, say, Israel is the untouchable. What happened? Iran went through there and surgically entered and did what they could do. So the Russian and American team where some people living in America, they believe that this is so sealed up that nothing can happen to them. Or maybe some people living in Russia feel that, oh no, Russia is untouchable. No. We are living in a world now where everybody is capable of doing something. Maybe not at the same skill that the other person will do it, but everybody is capable of doing something.
But Linford, welcome Padore to the show. Padore, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right, my dear.
Right. So, Linford, you are saying something about Russia and America. These are two countries that produce the dirtiest weapon on the planet Earth. Those two. No doubt about it. And when it comes to more, who have more in access is the Russian. They get it in abundance. And guess what happened? The Russians have already signed a treaty with North Korea. The same way, the same alliance that NATO have with the 32 European countries, the same way Russia and North Korea have that. So if you attack North Korea, Russia will come in defense of North Korea.
Yeah,
if you attack,
let me ask one question so you continue. What about the BRICS? Because Russia is part of the BRICS.
Now, the BRICS nation is the economic side of it. What the BRICS want to do is to de-dollarization of the dollars. They just want to devalue the dollars. Because if you want to buy something, now you have to pay in US dollars. So they make your currency the low useless, but now the BRICS nation say, no, we're not going to do so. If Russia going to buy, say, for example, some sort of oil from China, they will use the Russian ruble to buy instead of using dollar. So that is the thing. So they can trade with each other currency. That's the difference with the BRICS nation. So, but on the defense side, that if you attack North Korea, Russia will come in defense. That's the agreement. So maybe in the future, the BRICS nation could have that alliance as well. You never know. You're muted.
I think that is where they are moving because in order for the economy of all of the BRICS nations to be guaranteed and to flow, they have to also have something like a defense pact that remember that all of the countries in the BRIC nations are not militarily equal. So you got India, they got military, they got a nuclear weapon. You got Russia, they got nuclear weapon, but then Brazil does not have. Okay, South Africa does not have. So if anything happens, and any of these countries, if Russia will go against any country, So they will say, okay, we'll go for the weakest member of your BRICS. Say you are economically crippling, or we'll go for the weakest member of your BRICS, nations, and then we disturb their economy too. We'll make war with them, we'll make them unstable. So in that respect, all of the BRICS nations will think and they'll say, okay, you know what happened? We agree that economically we are strong and economically we're able to make impact, but militarily all of us are not equal. So let's empower the rest of our other countries. So you end up seeing that maybe Russia will begin to teach the South Africans how to make nuclear bombs.
So but you forgot about China.
China. Okay, so at least we got three of
China
those countries.
is a nuclear weapon.
You got three countries, right? China
is there.
Russia and what the other one is? India. Okay.
Yes.
So,
but then
so
also you get Iran, who bloody gave how they call these people? Asia bloody knows. Iran is specialized in drone.
Iran could just decide to join them too.
No, they're part of the BRICS now. They're being accepted.
Yeah. So you see what I'm talking about. So
yeah,
it would be that even though economically they will be strong, but they will also want their members to be militarily strong to the point where nobody can get attacked any of that. So I think that's a direction where the whole thing will lead. But one thing I wanted to highlight, Paul, that is, and what Lazarus said. Lazarus said the threat by Donald Trump that 50 days. He said it used to be 24 hours. It used to be 100 days. So we bet there. Nobody, you can't threaten us. You can't. I mean, we know this game. You know what I mean? You can't. We've been there. You can't come. What we know best, then you want to make our friend. You see? So I think America has got enough on her plate, especially with the Ukrainian thing. So they try to play. Donald Trump is trying to play two-handed game. Probably he will hold meeting with Putin, and the way he want to maneuver Putin, he cannot make it. Then he will go to Zelensky, and Zelensky too. I think he's trying to play a little smart, but not giving in totally to America. So this is where I think he and Trump got some misunderstanding. But we can flow.
Yeah, can I contribute?
Yeah, sure.
You're not seeing you have to come on.
Yeah, I come on, but my.
Yeah, but talk. We can see your face. Talk. You mute there.
Okay, let me see.
Talk. Okay.
You can hear me now?
We're hearing you.
All right. Because my video is, I don't know what happened. It's just speaking. Today.
It's all right.
Internet is bad.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Very good. Donald Trump is not a stupid person, but people portray him to be a stupid man, but he's not stupid. Donald Trump is a businessman. From my observation on him, here is the situation. Donald Trump don't want to be directly involved with the war that's going on in Ukraine with Russia. You don't want to be directly involved with the war right now going on between Russia and Ukraine. For evidences, here is what he just said. I agree to give weapons, but not directly to Ukraine. The weapon I'm giving, the European Union need to pay for it. They need to buy it. They will deliver it to Ukraine, but I can deliver it to Ukraine. And also, they need to pay for it. In that statement, some of the European countries does not agree to pay for any weapon from America to give it to Ukraine. They rather manufacture their own weapon, and if they want to sell it to Ukraine, they can sell it to Ukraine, or they want to give it to Ukraine and free of charge, business, they would like to do that. But to buy from America, that money go to America and give it to Ukraine, some of them are not union to that. And Donald Trump is a businessman. Anything he involved in it, anything he dealing with anyone, you look at the financial benefit first. So Donald Trump is not a stupid person in the thing here. We all should know that. So the 50-day ultimate he gave, even some of them were commenting on it today, like the chancellor for Germany had a press conference. That is 50-day time is enough time for anybody to do anything to cause damage, serious damage. You see, that was wrong. If Donald Trump was serious about stopping this war, he can't just say 50 days. He's supposed to demand his friends to stop the war now. So obviously, the people here, Paul and Linford, I look at them to be someone who's trying to play with one another intelligent.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
They play with one another intelligent.
But anyway, Padre, you said it all.
To close, Mr. Chiweple, Donald Trump make it clear before initially. He told Ukraine president, he said, this war is not even going to this war in the first place. He said it to him. So whatever decision he taking, he should not be surprised to anybody. But asking the European to pay for the weapon that he want to give it to them. Because he said the men not supposed to involve himself into the war. He had no business going to this war. He said it before. He didn't have it. That's what I can say here.
Okay. So that's good. So Linford, on the international scene, this is it. The warning has been given. You cannot give Russia ultimatum about it. They're not like Liberia where you say, our president will say, yes, sir. They will only laugh at you. Where you give it, you get over 27,000 sanction on them. They move them. That you're going to put 100% tariff on them, the country that do business, and the country that do business, that China, that India, that this country you're going to put one, it will backfire on you because the Chinese will do the same to you. So that whole thing is just Donald Trump just yapping. But if he really serious, he want Zelensky to have the weapon, let him deliver it, let Zelensky send it to, he shoot Moscow, and then what will be the retaliation? Donald Trump will know the truth, that Washington will be hit. So all that he knows. So this whole thing is like, he just talking here, talking there, and the Russians are working out. He's a weak leader. So until the war will end on Russian term and the level which they're going, before they get to the winter, they have getting everything they want. And that's the thing. These guys, the coalition are waiting. They don't want to spend money because in Britain, who's going to buy a weapon to get to the people here will protest. So that carry us to Liberia, the protest.
Okay, the protest.
We go to Liberia?
Yeah.
Good.
We had protests during the Chowia time. There were a lot of protests. And the interesting about the Liberian protest is that it will always kind of this first or the second year of the new leadership. It said that Liberians are not patient, or it said that the leaders are not doing what they promised they would do, and so the people will just waste no time in protesting. So what's happening here? Is it that we're not patient or what?
Yeah, no, it's not something that have to do with not being patient. It have to do with the corrupt mannered people that we elect, because for their thinking, We only got 6 years, we got 9 years. So let's see in the first 2 years. When we finish building our mansion, then we can serve the people. And then the people become us, how they call it? We become what? They become servant to us instead of we serving them. So that have been the issue there. So based on that, I think people now are getting fed up with this nonsense that you came to power, you didn't have even what back in the day, say Babi Solo to Ra, but then all of the blue, you ride $1.1 million bulletproof car, and you don't care for the people anymore. The people that you came to serve. The reason why you came to office because the suffering is too much. So you came to help to reduce the suffering. But instead, you now start enjoying and start suffering the people more. That's why in the first year, you find all of these things because they say when your Christmas will be good, you feed it from the eve. That's the whole thing. The people, 1 year, if the government is doing something good, you will start seeing in the first 6 months the decision that they made, the way they will start explaining this is where we're heading, this is what we're doing. And by the middle of this time, the middle of our governmental year, this is where you're going to see. The people will start feeding it, they start seeing it. But in the case of Liberia, look at Joshua when he came in. The first year, 29 condominium he built. Where the money came from? As an ex-professional footballer, you didn't build those things, but you became president right away. Boom. You broke down your house on 9th Street. You built new one. And then the people looking at it, but what the hell is this? Joseph Boakai, the same thing. The executive mansion is built to host the president. That executive mansion, since it got burned, it been renovated. An old man who 86 years old don't want to live there, but now they have to take the state money to redo a house for security reasons, and then there's no medicine in GFK. Common sense will tell you how stupid is our leaders, and this is why people get angry to protest. That's the reason you live for.
Yeah. Can I come in?
Go on, Padole.
Yeah. You see, we will always say this, continue to say it, and sometimes you will not go any water because the actors that are supposed to act, they will not act. So it's so long the actors do not act, action will not be taken. So you see, the point of the matter is what we the top show holders and activists and things in around the world need to do, along with the brothers and sisters back home, is to come up with something, mentalities that would force those that will be in the leadership to do the right thing. We need to stop writing down. If you leave with me, I would say the campaign should start from now on by the Liberians themselves. It's a peaceful campaign, not violent campaign, visiting citizens from door to door, house to house, office to office, street to street, with setting guidelines. One, put it into the law that the president, you do blunder when he leaves the power, we will not prosecute you while you're in power. The moment you leave the power, definitely he must be prosecuted for the wrongdoing. We should try to put that in black and white and make it as a law. One. Two, because that law was made by Samuel Doe administration. They made that constitutional amendment in Bangla. So that was, they did it purposely to protect the corrupt officials. Now, they knew they were doing the wrong thing, but they didn't want to be prosecuted tomorrow when they are not in power. So that need to be revisited by the Liberian people. Secondly, something we call welfare, social welfare of our citizens, the elders. When they are old, tomorrow they serve the country for 20 years, 25 years, because that's a limit for anybody to work in the country in Liberia. 25 years. After 25 years, you can request for retirement. But when you reach 65, you can request for retirement. Or 70, you can request for retirement. So when they are retired tomorrow, there should be a means to survive until they go in their grave. Because we noticed, I was in the Ministry of Finance. I saw it. Some of my uncle.
But particularly the question I asked is, after
you can ask question.
Yeah, after new leadership comes on, maybe in the first year or the second year, there is always protest. They say that the people are not doing what they promised, or they say that the people are not patient. We know nothing about the elderly. There should be social security benefit for that.
But it's not holding, Linford. It's not holding.
But so why do people protest? Why? It said that they don't want to protest.
The people protest. I will come to that statement if you give me a chance.
Yeah, but the time is going, so it's already after 10 o'clock.
All right. Okay. Let me tell you the reason why people are protesting. Our leaders that we elect them don't sign any commitment that we can hold them to before they become representative, senator, president, vice president.
And so, okay, then let me ask you.
So
if you just go randomly elect the people, they didn't give no promise, they didn't sign no people, you elect them. So why you protest against them for?
Yeah, that's what's happening. But listen to me.
Listen to me. Let me end the question. Why don't you demand them to make the promises or to sign whatever document you think is necessary before the election? But after election, they go protest against them.
Yeah, that's what I was just coming to. These are the errors that have been happening before. Those that stand and tell the Liberian people, when you elect me, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. The Liberian people will vote for that. So he became adulterous ideologist by the Kennedy, not to even come out to say anything, and the people will vote for him. Because he happened in the John Weir administration. John Weir did not say a word.
In the UK here, before you vote for somebody, do you have any social document to sign for?
There's a commitment in the Constitution that those that are taking the power, those that are elected, they go according to that commitment. The party convention, the party, and there's a law. Listen to me, Paul. And there's a law that if your MP or whatever is not doing the right thing, he can be petitioned to resign.
But it's also you have it in the Liberian law. So the question left for us is a straightforward question. You are elected to serve the people. You still are serving the people, you're not serving the people, and you start doing something wrong, so the people protest. That's what they protest for. You promise them that you build a house.
Yeah,
you get there, you're not building a house. If there's something have to be, you sign some kind of contract with them. Democracy don't require that. You decide, say, I've been living anywhere, I'm tired with it nonsense. I'm going to serve the people to better the life of people in Soniwe. You get that now. You don't want to better the life of the people in Soniwe, so they protest on you.
Yeah,
they take it on you.
How far the protests have gone? What's the impact the protests have made? There should be a criteria that will demean these so-called liars that make a promise before they became president or senator, and they didn't go by it, that will kick them out immediately over delay. How can that happen? There must be a document to sign before you get into.
I've not seen even the greatest democracy.
That document you sign and ignore the people. What to do?
What I'm saying. what
No,
I'm saying.
Actually, I don't think we need to put personal,
No,
personal, what we
I'm not
think, our
putting
personal
personal.
feeling
Yeah,
to
I'm
it.
not putting personal something in my mind. You understand what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say here, the various political parties, then even right now, you, a Paul Chileple, and I, or whatever, we are veterans of this thing. Then we campaign for someone who would go on our ticket and become senator, and immediately he turn his back on us. What we able to do to him? Nothing. But if there's a document signed between
Yeah,
he
but
and
your constitution does not call for that. The constitution
yeah,
Exactly.
but
does
that's
So
what I'm saying. It needs to be amended. We need
no,
to do
but
that
okay,
amendment in the
okay.
constitution.
Before it is amended, why don't you, the voters, know that this person is not the person to vote for? Because the reason we're talking, most of the senators will go 2 years. Look at Prince Johnson alone, when 3 years almost. I mean, or 3 terms, 27 years almost. Okay, and some senators have been going 18 years. You got representatives going 12 years. And say you cry, you are sitting there on your head, you cry under my weight, I conquer your head, but you still carry me. You see it? So instead of you throwing me down to move from your head, you still carry me but cry. So I would think that you are used to it, and all you can do is to cry, but you still carry me at the end of the day.
Yeah, but you see, you and myself looking at the same thing, but we are now approaching this the same way.
Yeah, but the means of approach,
I am saying
what you are proposing cannot function, cannot work under our functioning democracy.
exactly.
So that's the point we're trying to make. So you mean even down to the president, you sign document for him? No, the document they sign is they take oath. You say, John Brown will protect and do this and do this.
if you don't do it, you protest.
Then they go protest.
Yeah, listen to me. Listen to Rampo. We all saying the same thing, but we are approaching it different way. Even the man made such a promise, good promise. We'll take the gavel, we'll give it to him. He didn't go by it. We say, oh, you fool up. We get on the street. We remind him to say, this is the one you told us to say you're going to do it. You're not doing it. You need to do it. And he still don't do it. What do we do to him?
You still go by keep reminding him, make the country ungovernable. That's what you need to do. Because we Liberians, we are scary kind of people.
I believe what we can do as a Liberian in this manner is to have a means that once somebody make a promise that he's gonna do this, XYZ, when he get the gavel, he didn't do it. We don't have to wait for the next general election. We don't have to wait for the next month, the next year. We make sure we come up publicly right away for that person to resign immediately and replace.
But we have that in the constitution.
Yeah, it's in the constitution, but it's not being implemented.
But so how you get it implemented? That's why people protest. What are you talking about, Dolly?
The protest is no way because the only remedy to that situation the constitution provides.
How many times they protest then have succeeded?
Yeah, but how much protest have you had? You think when we talk about protest that you go one day, you go stand there, then they see you, then you move from there the next day? No. You talk about sustained protest where
you talking about riots.
It's not riot, it's protest. Protest is got nothing to do with riot.
Protest is a something.
I think we got to move on.
Because you're not getting the point here. You saying the man must sign contract. The man refuse. What do? You can't get him a court. He can resign.
The man are respecting the court ruling in the first place.
All right, let me take you back to something maybe you forgotten. There was an agreement signed between Cummins, Benana Ure, Nyomi Kanga Lawrence, and Pat Barker that they will hold the CPP. They sign a document that if somebody walk out, that person will not contest. And the same court, they went to the court, and the court said, oh, you can join Susu, but the person not happy, they can take all your money and walk away. And now the verdict the court
And
gave.
there's no document.
Go.
There is no document stronger than the code or the constitution.
Yeah, it's in the constitution. That's what I'm saying. We need to make amendment in the constitution.
But yeah, in the absence of the amendment, in the absence, so you now have representatives, you now have senators until you amend. It's not working that way. So when do you think you want to amend the constitution? It is not you.
If I say something right now, if I say something, people will say I'm a troublemaker. In that manner, for me, if these people become,
it's you already. You are Liberian. It's affecting you. So don't say
that's what I'm saying now. If in that manner, if the people become atrocious, they don't go by what they agree to do. I believe in that manner to solve this kind of problem. Ask them to resign. If you refuse to resign, let the military step in and remove them and organize an election for the next government to take over.
But the military won't just step in and that. So anyway, Linford, the protest.
So the military step in straight away and kick them out.
They can't just step in and it have to be a coup. The military can't get war, say they take government. It's not. It doesn't work like that.
One representative not doing what he promised in Bon County or in Nima, the military working.
Huh?
I mean, every country has their own military. Or
no. Listen, you Lanford know fully well the power, the supreme power is not in the hand of the president. Anybody the president should put in our Liberian party, that's the one that can pass. When the president is a straightforward person, things can go straight. When the president is bent person, things can be bent. You know that, Lanford. You work out.
The president was not. The president was not. Now listen, we're not only talking at the presidential level, right? We're also thinking about representatives, senators. So if the president was not determine what the senator will do, the president.
You have to read in your eye just recently, Lanford. You have to read in your eye. Joe Bunker didn't want Kofa to be there. What happened?
Yeah, but the president cannot determine the people of one country to elect Prince Moy. The president did not determine the people of one country to elect.
I am saying the president.
Papa Dole, I think you trying to change something here that will. What the purpose of a protest? That's the question here. What the purpose of a protest?
To deliver message.
The reason you are
is not right, then you protest against it. That's the purpose of protest.
Yeah, one at a time. One at a time. There was a reason why I asked that question. Whether we protesting or the people of Liberia are protesting because the leaders are not doing the right thing, or they say that they don't want to protest. They are not patient. There was a reason why I asked that question. But
okay, the people are protesting because the leader then, the statement that he made before coming to power, they didn't go by it. That's why the people are protesting. But it doesn't make no difference. It doesn't change anything.
It can change something. Protest can change something. In Liberia, because Liberians, we are cowards and we scared. Because
our protest in Liberia. I'm not talking about.
I said we Liberia, including me, we are cowards. Because if you know something not right, you go back again and say, look, I came yesterday, I came out because of this. If this does not change, I will come back again. I will make you to change it. Because we are so coward, we able to do things. That's why it's like that. Because the cowardly behavior in us, that's why you get people that crooks like Omer Barker there will play on the intelligence of the people. If the people were strong enough, he would not play on them.
Let me respectfully disagree with what the statement that you just made.
But we are cowards, so this.
I disagree with that statement. We are not cowards. One thing that really keeping us in this manner, poverty, causing serious problem in our society. And the politician knew that making us to be independent financially, we will have an independent mind. So obviously they do everything possible.
He just validated the point. if I'm suffering poverty, I'm suffering, and some guy came and just making fool out of me, I'm gonna be brave enough that because of you I'm suffering. It's not going to happen because we get a cowardly behavior. We say, oh, let's wait. We went through this. That's why we are the way we are. Look at Kenya. When the government decided to put tax on bread, the students said no. What happened? They forced the government to change that decision because in Liberia we get a cowardly behavior. We go out there, we go home, we say the protest was peaceful, we gone back. Government say, look at those fool. And we're going to play the thing. That's why Joseph Barker now is laughing at the protesters, say, thousand you came out, you are fools. But if these guys serious, they will go back and make Joseph Barker wipe that smile from his face that we mean business. Because we Liberians, we get a cowardly behavior, we sit down there, we suffer, then we say, oh, 6 years, we'll go elect, we'll change. The same 6 years, you bring another crooks, then we start complaining again. Until we can force people out, we need no damn military. The people themselves can move for government if they want. That's why about the cowardly behavior, it will not happen.
Okay, but let me ask the question.
Yeah, go on.
There was a protest. The protest yesterday was the protest of success on the Irish, or was it a failure?
The question for me or is for Paul Trophy?
It's for you, Padre.
Okay. The question is for everybody.
No. And they already gave it to me. It's not for me. The protest
for everybody.
Yeah, okay. The protest yesterday, from my view, he did succeed. People came up. You know what? People came up and they make a statement. Even though the president refused to receive the petition, but the message was heard by everybody. The reason why they came on the street. And they said something. They didn't just leave from the protest ground. They left there with message. They say, within 14 days, what we just said, since the old man refused to come and receive the petition, to go and look into it and act on it. Within 14 days, if he did not act, because he heard it, just that he never received the document, but he heard it. Within 14 days, if it did not happen, we're coming back. So obviously, my view is the protest hold and the protest will hold.
So Linford, you muted.
But the same question goes to you. Or do you think the protest was a success or failure?
Well, I think in terms of the turnout, in a sense, it was successful because we had the government and the government propagandists trying to stop this protest. And to the surprise of them, the turnout was great. So that turnout is a message that was sent to the government that, hey, don't overlook this. So whether they receive petition, they didn't receive the petition, but the fact is that number of people that turn out, if the government still continue on the same path, that number will increase tomorrow. So in a sense, it was successful, it was peaceful, people went home. But the thing is, will the government listen to the people? Or the government is waiting for these people to come back again? Because the more the country becomes noisy, you don't govern well. I keep saying the thing. And this is why we have. And Padre said that these guys promised. Since the government refused to take the petition from them, they didn't come for it, they will come back again.
In 14 days.
Okay, from my side, I think the protest was a big success. And I have a few reasons why. Number one, the Constitution of Liberia provides that the citizens have the right to peacefully assemble and call the attention of their government to their grievances. Okay? The Constitution did not set any normal limit. It can be one person, it can be 2 people, 3 people, it can be million people, depending on their interest. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. The turnout was good. A few factors you got to look at. Liberian people, we used to say Liberian people are afraid of rain more than car.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, you can be driving, the Liberian man walking on the road. Even when you tell you, you say, why you blow your horn? You're scared of car, but when small rain come, you see them running. When they get umbrella, you see them running going. But that heavy downpour of rain yesterday, the people defied the rain. We turned out, they were out. I followed several media outlets and I saw the people. So nobody would have expected the whole Monrovia to come out. Okay? Remember that Bwaka won the election. So nobody would have expected that Unity partisans would come out. So it was a particular group. This was not all the political parties organizing the protest. It was STAND. And STAND is relatively young as a pressure of political group or whatever it is. And they were able to amalgamate and bring out such number of people. That was a success. The second reason I feel that the protest was successful is that there was no violence because people had thought. People had thought that there will be the usual clashes where the police will be forced to come and use brutal force, the person will be throwing stones and stuff like that. That didn't happen. There may have been a few other things. Every protest, even in the Great United States, every protest, even Norway, protesters can clash with police. And one thing I love about how many when you're protesting, they don't even face you. They cycle you, but they face you on the other side. So whatever you're doing, they're not looking at you. You're in the circle. The only thing, do not break that circle and go out to go for another. So protesters will always clash with state security. So if there were any skirmishes, they were on a minute scale. And so the protest was organized, and somebody is asking actual name and the number of civil society groups that were part of the protest.
Linford, don't pay attention to that person flow.
This is information. Paul will give you information because in his mind he thought that it was all the civil society group and all the political parties. It was STAND. That group called STAND. It was not COP. It was not all the other. No, it was STAND. So probably he doesn't know it. We are educating people here, and some people will come out of ignorance. They get me from some funny comments, and then people will run away. We are in the business of education. You see me, I follow there are a lot of comments that I don't follow, but certain things you got to make a clarification. So Emmanuel Crawford or Carford, it was not all the people going organizing the protest. STAND took the responsibility. Whether other people join, well, the other will join because they are Liberians. And the third reason why I feel that the protest was a success was that the symbol, they went to where they wanted to go, whether the government came and received their petition or not. It's the prerogative of the government not to receive it, but the government did not stop them. They did what they wanted to do. And that's why they came in the street. Number one. Somebody will say the president did that kind. The president is not the government. The president is just the president. He's working in one office. The president. You got the ministers of different ministries. They all form part of the government. And the fact that we are in a modern age, we don't need to take one paper and go to one president. You can tell it. Well, the social media is effective. What we do here, the president is hearing it. The president made a comment yesterday. We got a video, we play it. The president said somebody sent him. Okay? Things from the protest where somebody said Bwaka can lie or stuff like that. So it is true that the president knew about the protest. He knows that it happened. So nobody, was forced to go and give him one piece of paper that he can tear at any time. But at least the world knows that the people protested. So I think the protest was a success, and whatever the government does with the outcome or the petition that the people were supposed to give, is up to the government. And I think it was also very irresponsible. Take me for this. Put me on record. It was irresponsible on the part of the government not to send anybody. They said they sent one guy who should be committee on something from the House of Representatives. When you were going, he saw police through, he ran away. See it? So it was very irresponsible on the part of the government not to receive the petition. Because even if you just come and receive the petition, why you do it, at least you show that respect. And Paul, you rightly said it. The next time people organize protest or Emmanuel Crawford, make sure you see all the other civil societies moving, because it is defiant. It's a defiant act on the part of the government that the citizens will come out. They want to petition, they want to give you a petition, and you refuse to come out. So the next time the number will increase. And let me tell you one thing: it was the same people who the very president today were walking, the people who were in the ring to go to ask for vote. It's the same people who are coming out now to say, no, this is not what we voted for. We want to remind you that you are not doing what we want. And you already reject them. Every action got equal and opposite reaction. So, Ochima, welcome to the show. We know you've been following. So, there's a big question on the floor here. Was the protest successful or not? And if yes, how was it successful? If no,
right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Do you hear me, guys? Right. Okay. Paul, Linford, thanks for the question. But that's a very relative. I can say it has a relative answer. It depends the organizer, how do you deem it, whether successful or not, because you can appraise or evaluate your protest depending what you want to get the outcome. I don't know what the result, what they wanted to get out of the protest. But in any case, the one thing I can say here, they were exercising the constitutional right to protest. That's clear. That's very clear, and they did that very well. And the good thing, the word I was worried about, for it not to escalate to any violence where, home shops and businesses and homes will be ransacked. That was my fear. But it was done peacefully, and it ended peacefully. So for me, I call it a success. Whether the right people have an argument where those who organize the protest, whether the right people to do the protest, that's not my business. My business is whether it's right or not, they can do any protest. So the question of whether it was successful from what I see, at the end of the day, it was a peaceful demonstration, peaceful protest. I'll call it from that end, I'll call it successful. What the protester organizer wanted to achieve, I don't know, but I know that they want to present that there was like high skyrocketing prices in the country, high level of corruption. Those are the main things they were talking about. If they presented that to the people of the government of Liberia, that's all protests about. They want to present the grievances to the government. If they don't receive it, but the government saw the notice, I think what you said, the president also mentioned one of the speeches, at the ministerial complex, that he said Boake can lie. It was a sign that he read. People told him. So he was reacting to that. That means that he's alert. He knows what's going on. So I think that also tells him. The protest may show the government like we're not sitting down, we're watching you. This is a good thing about it. That's what makes democracy beautiful. Whether you like it or not, what you're doing, we're watching you, and we'll keep watching you. We'll put your feet to fire. So it's a good thing. I think it was a good attempt. If we can continue to do these protests in the level of in confine, in the confine of laws, that would be a very good thing.
Okay, quickly, you mentioned something which is very key, that is the peaceful nature of the protest. And I've been following social media, people thanking the police. We have a very terrible feedback according to Chagala Brown Chulukle. Yes, we're working on it. I think it's some technical stuff, so we'll work on it. Please bear with us.
Yeah, can Paul mute himself? I think it's coming from Paul N.
It's not coming from me, man. Even admit it's not coming from me.
Okay.
But when Paul talks, we don't get it. But only when I talk ultimatum.
Now you see, now Paul mute himself is off. Go on. It's not talking now.
Yeah,
you see, now it's off.
When you are mute, we can't hear the feedback. So, but the point, people praising on social media, people praising the police and this and that. No, what is the work of the police? The work of the police is to provide security. So, if you're like, my wife called for me, then I start breathing drum. Oh, my wife will cook for me. Or as have the family, I'm supposed to take care of the family. I buy one bag or I bring it home, they start dancing, yeah. And I bring rice. No, that's my responsibility. The police is under obligation to serve the people, protect them, protect the nation. Okay, so the police was not the one that were peaceful. So people who praise the police, you waste your time because you don't know. It's the work of the police to, even a criminal who is committing crime, if the police arresting you, still got to protect that man. Okay, yesterday I saw one video, I don't know whether it came from the protest, where there were 2 police guys trying to subdue a guy on the ground. The other police guy was choking the boy literally with his knee on the neck and choking him with his hand. And the boy kept saying, leave my neck. People went there to talk to him and said, no. The boy told him, you get in trouble. He said, yeah, I want to get in trouble. Can you imagine? You already got a man on the ground. The man subdued. The same thing that happened with George Floyd. Okay? This was even a worst case where you were holding the guy in esophagus with a foot on the head. Then, because yesterday they didn't shoot tear gas or they didn't brutalize people, then people praising them all around the place. That's the function. And what if the protesters had just poked them? They were going to react. They were not that they're so professional that they didn't react, but because the protesters were peaceful, that's why they didn't react. So for people to be praising them all over the place, that's nonsense for me. And the next thing I want to talk about was the blatant disregard for this protest shown by the government has even amplified the people's willingness to come. Right now, if you call protest tomorrow, no matter who calls it, okay? And you mentioned something, Juma, about people complaining about it, people who organize the protest. No, those people, again, like, if our witchcraft, I used to make soul count on people, but I resigned from the soul, or I'm no more of witchcraft. But I stay, if other people get soul, I can come and heal that person. So if somebody gets soul and I come in to heal the person, you say, oh no, and they know I got a medicine. They say, no, that man, I witchcraft before. Then he shouldn't be the one to come and heal the person. No, that's a mistake people make. The CDC were in government. They know all the wrong things they were doing for which people protested against them. So if Moluba Molu comes out and he identifies similar thing happening and he says, no, this is the same mistake we're making. We shouldn't sit and let it happen. So let's go and protest against this government and call their attention. What is the point that people got problem with Moluba Molu? Moluba Molu was talking for the rest of you who are not able to go there. So that argument that people, the face of the argument they brought against or Louis Brown there during the ANC, Kwame is bringing people from people that are for war, this and that. We can dwell on petty things that have no value to the issues that we should be discussing. So, Paul, anything else?
I want to take a point onto what you're saying right now. Absolutely. You said something regarding the level of police. I mean, we need to get a credit. For me, you look at it from a different point. I think we should get the police credit for exercising, for doing their job professionally. We don't see it's very common in Liberia where you see police guarding. It happened to but let me finish.
No, you continue. I'm not starting.
Okay, speak.
Yeah. So what happened that the police was supposed to react and they didn't react? Because
I want to compare something to you.
Uh-huh.
We need to give them credit, whether you like it or not.
I would not give them.
Let me explain.
I would not give them praises for doing that job. If the protester was throwing and damaging, and the police did not brutalize them, then I would say they were professional. But I gave an example about the family. The head of the family, Bafi, bring it home. Then people start dancing for him. Oh yeah, no, that is responsibility. They were supposed to be there. That's what the Constitution says. Provide security for the people as long as they are peaceful. So why were they extracting the police there?
Okay, then. Thank you very much. All right, then. Could you let me finish? Then you continue to talk.
Go.
Thank you.
When you may finish, I will let you out.
What I want to tell you is this: it's not very common in Liberia where police will not react in a violent way. It's very common. And one thing, not only police, some believe to be top government officials who got involved. I want to bring back to the case of this guy. What's the guy? The former mayor of Monrovia.
Jefferson Koji.
Yeah, when Bernard your daughter won, and there was an election protest about the election result. He said, what happened? He got on the street. When the people were protesting, he led a gang group and talks to attack them. You didn't see that? Police were there with a gun. We all saw that. That was it's visible everywhere. Those is things that happen. You didn't see. Look, comparatively, if you compare to we are leadership, compared to Mr. Barker leadership, we need to get the police and the government a little bit of credit comparatively. If you tell your son to do the job, if someone did a brilliant job for you, you tell your son, oh, thank you. It doesn't mean that he hasn't do the job. It's being a man of how you present yourself. It doesn't mean that he is a job. It can't be. You know what I mean? You need to be a little bit, how do you say that? You need to be honest. You said, okay, you did an excellent job. Thank you for
let me ask you one question.
No, don't keep asking me. You keep interrupting me.
Yeah, but let me ask you one question. Yeah,
this is not a good way. You keep interrupting me when I'm talking. When you talk, I don't interrupt you. Can you let me
Okay,
I think I want to reserve. You can continue now. Because you want to talk, then I will stop talking. Because I talk, I don't talk. When I'm talking, you want to interrupt me. Let me speak. You see, the thing is this, gentlemen, whether you like it or not, police are doing the level of professionalism we expect from them. It has not been coming from most police for the past years. Now it's picking up. We need to compliment them. That's what I think. You may differ from my argument. I agree. We don't argue here. I'm making my point through, right? You make your point. The point is, you don't need to have to agree with me, but I disagree on the point that if some level of the security apparatus have done an excellent job, thank you. Job well done. This is where you should have done better. That's my point here. I want you to understand that. But past government, if you look what happened with the We Are leadership, every demonstration that was taking place, they were being interrupted. At some point that we were even afraid. We are tired of demonstration where some guys were picked up among the ANC under group. They had somebody say they were carrying guns. The communist security officer. Some people were apprehended for no real reason. I don't know whether they were planned or I don't know. But what I want to explain to you, we need to say thank you for job well done. If someone has done a good job, that's what I want to say here. There is their job to do the job. When they do an excellent job, thank you. Why we did not criticize, we did not come out when Jefferson Kujik led a group to attack this young lady that had protest about the result of the election. It never happened on the Ume Baka. The police were there. They never protected them. You can correct me, Paul. You correct me.
Let me come in.
I come in. You make your point. So comparatively, I'm not saying they're all good. Comparatively, I think the level of professionalism we at the Ume Baka government is doing. I want to end up by saying, for the 6 years, the We Are government was a Trinity government. Samuel Tue, Mr. Magay, and Mr. Weir. That was it. Until we finished, people complaining over and over the government, the hike of prices, corruption. You know that people were jumping over both for right price, rice, everything was going high. It was a massive demonstration, but the government started saying they're meeting the ground. So if you see it comparatively, we give some little bit of credence and also hope what the government is doing. They're trying. I'm not saying they're excellent, but they're doing better compared to We Are leadership. That's my point. You can make your point.
Okay, let me say something here, please. The reason why, from my point of view, the reason why people are giving praises to the police right now is, from time to time, the police have been a party police. Wherever the party hierarchies go, they always go there. Whether they wrong or right, they go there. That been happening in our Liberian society, and in this case, it did not happen. So obviously, people have a right to give praises to the police, because once the previous police administration was a party police, and even the starting point of this administration, the particular police force were also acting like a party police. One of the examples is the way they handled the case of the old lawmaker office, capital billing case. The way they handled it, it was personal, very unprofessional, and it showed as a party police. Maybe because people are being beaten on them, they are changing their tactics of handling the situation. Even before they peaceful parade yesterday, there was a lot of comment come from every angle, warning the police how to behave professionally. And they did that. I think people should be able to say, yeah, they did well. That's what I can say in this matter.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, you got anything to add, Paul?
Yeah, I got something. And I like the way Jamal put it. This Unity Party police, they know different from Georgia Party police. From day one, King George, when the police beat the protester, 3 persons were killed. It was not different. It was not Georgia. It was just a Baka police. The Capitol building saga, there was demonstration that the police were, they handled protesters violently. Even those that were going for the rule of law. The group were Yaka Kolba and those people, they were the police that beat on them. Then the protester didn't start, it was the police. So there is so many incidents that you can look at. Just in 2 years, the police have done. So the Constitution says the police they're supposed to protect the people. Nobody should tell the police that, oh, your job is the job description, protect life and property of the people. We cannot praise you for your own job that you've been paid for. Taxpayer pay you to carry out your function. You've been going on the contrary, doing something that you're not supposed to do. Then because international community are on you, say, will be professional. Tomorrow, when those people come by the protest, I can guarantee you the same police that are pressing will beat on them. This is a party police.
Thank you very much.
For money, we pay them.
Thank you very much. The meat of the whole discussion about this police thing, people not getting it. You started the Capitol building thing, right? When the protesters went, the protests that were organized by Vandala Patrick, the police said the people should not pass certain area. And some of the protesters passed there. The police moved on them. And they even crossed the road and went and started attacking the other people who were not to where the limited people not to pass. Now, my point I'm making is that the police is not professional. The only reason why they acted professional or the people see them as being professional yesterday is because the protesters themselves remain peaceful. They did not break any law. Just 2 days before the protest, what the police were doing? You didn't see them in the street with a long-range weapon, demonstrating, doing all kinds of exercise, abusing women, saying, show you how to deal with the protesters.
Oh,
they were doing it.
Oh, Linford, let me add one more. There was the same police that were beating the motorcycles there. They went and beat a military guy until the military came from the barrier to say, now we'll just start the police. It's the same police just 2 days ago. There's nothing new about these guys. It's just about the police. That's all.
There was no professionalism. Okay, and Jima, you say, oh, they think that you're professional. And you say, if you ask you certain example about son. So if you get you got.
I don't think you're arguing here. I'll make my point. You made your point. Can we move forward?
No,
you already made your point. I made your point.
I'm just countering your point.
No, you already made your point. I made my point. I think we make it. Can we move forward?
I'm trying to solidify my point.
You've done already before. I think you've been speaking on this for like you've been speaking on this about 30 minutes ago before I got here. So you already made your point. We're not making.
If you're not a dog or red for now, you take it, put it back. But then
Paul also.
You're not a dog or red down. And then so he didn't put any dog or red down. So I can say, oh, thank you. He do nothing. You got a dog or red, not fall down. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The point here is you make a point, I make my point. We'll move on. That's how it is. We don't have to. We're not making debate.
I can solidify my point.
You've been saying it for 30 minutes. I just make my point for 2 seconds. I tell you where I stand, where you stand. That's
you want to roll out video before you get after you told, then you roll out video where the president was making mockery of the protesters.
If you can permit me, I want to. You see, the protester, the president did not get a petition, but he aware of what went on yesterday. The noise that's going to come is more. So if you permit me, I want to play something before I play the president thing. If you allow me, let me roll this.
The same experience. Market leaking. No buying. At least if they buying from us, we are also able to buy one thing. you face it. But when the money, send the money account, I only get 60. Send the money.
Send the money. Send the money. You miss the time. 11:26 a.m. When you came here,
I came by 7 o'clock here the morning.
Almost 12 midday.
But I want to tell you, I don't even say it. I just now go back $10 water to drink. $10 water. But you know what? 18 years is serious. Don't wake up left for me. I will not vote because of the people who can listen to them to help us and talk for us. They ain't doing it for us.
So there's a reason why I played that tape. Let me play the president one, and then we can have the discussion.
We want to thank you all. This is a responsibility of interesting today. Somebody sent me and somebody who protest us. One of them, I don't know, he said he protesting. And he said because what I can die, they can't die. Important because we're not getting 10% from very protest.
Now, the woman in the market I just showed, she feeding the situation, she feeding the economic situation. The protest yesterday to address the economic situation on the ground. The president is laughing because the government of Liberia, all the past governments since the Civil War ended, they refuse to educate their people. Somebody spell something, they don't know the difference between can and cannot. And the president is laughing, making mockery of the protester. Tomorrow, those very people he laughing at, when they come up, will they wipe that laughing smile from his face? This is the question, guys. What do you think about the president mocking at the protesters?
Welcome
for the chance to speak. Well, Lifa will take 20 minutes to talk, so let me give you a chance to speak.
Okay.
Go on, Lifa.
But don't they talk, then Lifa come in.
Oh, Lifa not ready yet, no? Oh, let me speak on it. Now,
you want me to come up?
I will wait. I will wait all your talk.
Yeah, but don't drag off for 20 minutes when you have to speak for 10 minutes. So you need to make your point. So let me speak, Mr. Dollar, please.
Go on.
Paul, if you hear me, the situation where you've been showing, I think this video is not new. Let's be honest here. The video is not new. You've been around. It's not the first of its kind for the past government. They all been having issues. Academic issues has been the issues, the factor, the underlying factors in Liberia for every leadership that passed. From Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, George Weah, up to the president. I mean, the present leadership. Now, the issue is, if you look at it, if it were academic issue, it's not an easy solution. It sounds so simple. How we solve it? We ask the people right now, the journalist that passed on the microphone, that did and somebody microphone, the person, he did not follow up. Follow up, we need to know more. It was just a little thing, this economic situation, they are not selling. What is that all? That does not say the things, it doesn't say anything. It's very minute. It's not enough. So you cannot take that as an argument. We are not selling. It's everywhere. Sometimes economic situation which the government cannot control. It cannot be the volatile situation. It's worldwide. It happens everywhere. No government can control economic situation. It depends. It's almost like the financial markets. That's how it goes. So we cannot use it as an argument against the present leadership. We need to go more on that in that view to know what the follow-up, what are the questions. If you pick on one excerpt of that interview and tell that, argue that. For me, I can't say anything on that because it's not enough for me to argue on it or to debate on it. So the situation in Liberia and any other African country is the same. Economic factors, situation, health issues, and mental issues. So if you want to talk, you want into full detail.
Anybody working for Liberia different.
No, let's be realistic here. I'm not speaking. I'm not. Let's be realistic. I'm not. Sometimes, if you want to look at a situation, look at it from the realistic point of view. I will argue on the government. I told you when I came here, I said I'm disappointed in the government when from Freeport to Simport Bridge, they're taking years to finish that road, which should be less than 3 months. They're not working on weekends. They're working on days. It's not even nighttime, which I condemn. I make a lot of mentions about government failure in the country. But there's things that you should speak on when you see the honest. We need to be honest with yourself. The video brother just showed here is just an excerpt of a video that's not complete. What can I argue on? We are not selling. What does that tell you? We're not selling. You're not selling. What's the situation? Is the guy who getting interviewed, is he asking more questions to how to know what to argue on? That's my point. So for me, I want to stop here and tell you I don't have much to argue on.
All right.
The point I make here, you didn't get it. Pardon one sec. I beg you. Let me remind Jamal on something. He was laughing at some child that didn't go to school, that the government from the past go refuse to educate our people. That the thing the president picked on because the person who wrote cannot distinguish between can and cannot. And he laughing at that. So isn't that fall on the government that responsible to educate their people? They're taking mockery of those people instead of saying that how can we educate these people? He's laughing. That's my point here. Forget about that woman thing that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, no, because you brought that in. That's a key thing.
But it's just a part. The woman says, Stanton wants to encourage them to vote, and things are hard. But this government criticize George. We are on the same hardship. So when you come in, you're supposed to ease that hardship. Because you refuse to do that, so she said, I will not vote again because what do we think? Now, on the educational part, he's laughing. The person now know between I cannot and I can. And he making mockery on our educational system that he have the responsibility to change the narrative. But he making mockery. That's my point here.
Okay, I'll give my colleagues to speak, then I will talk to that later on that if you mind. You want me to react on that, speak on that now, or others will speak?
Yeah,
okay. I think you should speak on it now before.
Okay, quickly. Just, Mr. Dodd, let me give 1 minute on that. You want me to speak on that? Yeah, it's sad indeed that we have issues. You know, the issue of education in our country has been a very, very serious issue to look into. I know he's to his advantage, Paul, as a president. You see it from there. You see it to advantage. People, we don't want to say mock me and they're mocking themselves. Anyone will take advantage of the situation. That's what you're looking at. I mean, it's sad that people misspell and do the thing, and the organizers didn't see that. And because if you're organizing, the placards or the posters that you carry should be well organized. Anybody can write anything and put it up because press pick these things up. International channels pick these things up. If you're not organizing, you don't pay attention to these things, it can also go against you as organizer. But the president taking that to his advantage. That, oh, they even know what they're doing. They want to say, I can't lie. So it's sad that we have issues of writing good English or writing something after prison in the USA that he speaks good English. Say, look at this country. People want to put that against me, even saying in my favor. So in taking advantage of the situation and making himself look good, Paul, that's how we react to that. It's sad in our country that we have a problem with education. Very, very sad indeed. But the president anybody will make a joke out of it and take it to his advantage. That's why I see it.
Padole, you can go now.
Yeah, thank you very much, gentlemen. Let me start from the latest statement in the market. I've been a businessman here in Manchester before. I had a tire company here. I used to be selling tires, second-hand tire, brand new tire. Sunday used to be. England is the fourth highest economic country in Europe. But we that were selling markets, marketeers, Sunday good, Sunday bad. So maybe that particular day was the bad day for the woman. So you can't hold government for that. That's my view. It's my open view on that. Because business go this way. Sunday, you make good money. Sunday, you don't make nothing. The way you go to work, that's how you come back home. For the mockeries the presidents were doing, the president was acting very irresponsible on that. That's my personal view. For matter of fact, is that he being praised by Donald Trump, who were making mockery at him, because Donald Trump supposed to know that Liberia is in an English-speaking country, but still say that the president of a sitting president of our country can speak good English, and he take it to be, proud of that. Fair enough. That's your opinion. That's a way of seeing things. But I don't think he's supposed to be the one to laugh at the way somebody's misspell the placard. He's not supposed to laugh at it. He's supposed to take it serious, to introduce an educational system in our country where people will be eloquent, be highly educated to do the best thing for our country. Because if there's majorities of our citizens are not educated, and you, poor children, for God's sake, we're not going to go nowhere. Our country to continue to perish. So I think this educational problem started immediately once the military took over, because majority of them, I started here before on one time, I think whether that was SKTV or this bottom line, I said it. When the PRC took over, those that were high school graduates among the PRC member were not even full. One was Fabani, Thomas G. Kumba. Some of those were not even a high school graduate. So they didn't know the value of education. But the Congo people time, they knew the value of education. Even the village where I came from, we were having a Peace Corps there to teach us standard education. So that's the kind of education Joseph Barker, has. So when the military took over, they downgraded education. The war come and scatter the whole thing. When he come as an educated president, I think he's supposed to focus on how to rebrand the educational system. But he's not doing it. He's laughing at the way people writing. Listen, today, Jimmy can attest to that. He just come from Liberia. Go and call the high school graduate and say, okay, let everybody write me comprehensive letter. You will see how misspell will be. You understand what I'm saying? So our education, even the predecessor of George Weah, make that similar statement. He said our educational system is a straight hole. Ellen Johnson said, where people went to go sit for university tests, all of them failed because the grassroots educational system was not solid. So obvious, some of us, we took our child then from Liberia and sent it to Ghana to go to school because we knew the educational system was not going good. But can everybody do that? No, it's not possible because everybody don't have that hand. You understand what I'm saying? The president, for me, it was wrong to laugh, to make mockery of that statement. Really, that son, it was not good. It was not a good, responsible behavior. That's what I can say here.
Okay. So, Lingua, you heard the video, and that woman I showed, she said she would not vote. She confused because it's not the first time. It's something that they're not making money since they got making the power. That everyday story.
Yeah, Paul, before you go further, I beg you, let me get no, I beg you. Before you go further, on that woman issue, she says she's not going to vote.
But this is the thing, because that everyday issue. It's not one day that she had a bad setting day. No, it's every day.
So you are not arguing on that. The woman, you see that woman, she's more like 30 years old, from according to her look. You understand what I'm saying? That woman, they were told during the campaign, George Weah Town, Omer Barker Town, they were told you look for your select good person. These two parties, they have failed the country. You try to select alternative one, they refuse. They went and vote for the woman. They knew what they were doing. So that today she want to say she's not going to vote. She's not going to vote. But who's going to bear the consequences? She's not going to be left out. Let me be realistic. I will not support all that because you were told do a better choice. She refused. I bet you she voted for Omer Barker because he made a statement to Spoon. That Spoon, the one that will decide for her, telling her go vote for Omer Barker, then she go vote without making her own investigation, without choosing the best person among the Kennedy.
So let leave off flow, please. So you have
I'm done with that.
Okay. She might say I should go for 20 minutes. That's what he said. Yeah, but on a serious note, I will start from the mockery by the president. And I can also assure you that, I don't know, today was Friday, Tuesday, if you follow the show, Paul, we're all here. What did I say? And people were trying to downplay it. I said it many times that the government could plant in people to make trouble so that the police will have reason to move on there. But fortunately, they did not plant in troublemakers. Then, on the soft side, that's a Unity Party guy who wrote that thing to counter the protest. Say, Waka can't lie. Amen. No, listen. All the people that are protesting, all of them are stupid. Somebody would have looked at that placard and say, "No, listen." But the guy was strategic. He went right before the camera. Waka can't lie. That's one. That was a Unity partisan. Number two, the next one was the person who said because they're stopping off from selling drugs. Who in a right mind will say that? You see, so no, you see, Paul, let me tell you one thing. You see, me, so I got few friends. All of us say we're friends, but you don't know me. Until maybe you live with me for one day. Me and you together for one day, then you'll know me. The live for is here. I'm a very strategic thinker. I think when you and I talking, I think far beyond you. You see, it's just my nature. That's why I don't have many friends from my high school days, from my junior high school days. I got 3 friends that if you wake them up, you ask them about me, they'll tell you. And if you wake me up, I'm sleeping, you ask them about it, I'll tell them. And what I'll tell you, if you go and ask them, they'll say the same thing. So my friendship, I got friends, but not everybody who are my real friends. I got hello, how you doing? Okay? But my real friend who understand me, who can stand me, who can stand my attitude.
Leave us speak to the subject, please.
Yeah, that's the subject I'm going to. The subject is that there were moles planted to make the amen. Why is it that there were several placards, or why is it that they have to take that particular picture and send it to the president? I mean, read between the lines. How important is it to the president to know whether they John Brown can spell or he can spell, or whether they want to say because they stop you from selling drugs, But all these things, but some people are not thinking that way. No, you're taking for the face value. Oh, yeah, the man misspelled. And so the president, no, let me tell you, if you look at the Capitol building burning saga, where the president went, they didn't brief him nothing. Yeah, when they say they're asking, and will not let the Holy Ghost, the Holy Ghost go free. You see it? That the same thing he's doing with that. They planted those people, say, carry that placard, and say, Bwaka can't lie. This is when they say, Bwaka that baby. They Bwaka you're dealing with the man. The man say he been in government for 45 years, and the Liberian people say that only man they know. He knows them too. He know how they can think. So, it's just my own view that thing was not no misspell something. There were people in the protest who could have said, no, this thing is not right. Take it from there. But again, that was it. Saying they did not plant in moles that will cause trouble. After the several public warning, so they said, well, we're going to do some soft things. And then the president picked that part up. He didn't care for how many people turned out and why they turned out, but he cared that there was a guy who cannot spell. And Paul, you made a rest statement about the old lady in the market. That woman in the market, even though Jima doesn't see the importance of her, but that woman in the market is saying that we come to the market here every day we say we can't get nothing. Now, everywhere in the world, we know there are marketplaces where even in Wall Street, it can go up and down, but it will pick up. But what if the Dow Jones drop totally for complete 5 years? All the investors lose. What will happen to them? That woman pays some way to go to school. To go to work. She will buy the goods. She's not selling. Some of the goods are perishable. They stay there, they spoil. The woman is expressing her grievance. Okay? If that woman making market money, she will not talk about it. That woman got children that can eat. She also can eat. She's not getting the money to eat. See? So we can say that isolated case and that's a photo. Those are the photos that I see woman who people will depend on tomorrow of 1 vote counts. You can have 99. You know, somebody at 99, they need one person to break it. How more vote could break it out? And she's telling the press what her problem is. And then we say, oh no, the economy, no government can be held responsible for economy. Then why is the government there? To fix the economy. If every individual had the opportunity to be president, then we'll say, okay, you're responsible for yourself. But all of us cannot be president. So we elect one person who's supposed to be for us to take care of our activities. That's why we look at the president as a head, or else everybody in Liberia, we can be our own president. How will the government go? And for the last point I want to strike is the president should be ashamed of himself that one of his citizens is making mistake, and then he's laughing. You should look at that. I think Chancellor would have looked at me seriously. Chancellor, not me from all of that. Chancellor said, so you mean the board doesn't know the difference between can and can't? That's a serious thing. So, but the president will stand there and start laughing. So we got mature, we got very mature children. Some people are mature, but still they think they're children. I'm not saying the presence of mature child, but I'm just giving you a sample that age is not really what everybody think it is, that your age can give you wisdom. Because the president, what if his son had written that thing, you laugh? A little grandchild went to school and came and wrote that thing. You would not laugh, you'll be serious. I said, no, you bought this, that's supposed to be like this, so it'll be this way. But I'll stop here. So far, we look at things from different perspectives, but I'm just being me. So I'm sorry if I do meet people's perspective, just being me. That's it.
Thank you, Linford, and thanks, guys. I think you all have your view on this, but my view is totally different from everybody. As you are, Jamal have a view. We all have our own view. We look at things differently. The president, I think he made a mistake. That laughing, people may take it that he taking advantage.
Mistake? No.
He's taking advantage of the situation, but it could backfire on him tomorrow. Because what happened now, we expect the police, for every time people come out, the police have to be very mature. They don't have to now beat people. So there'll be more people coming out now. We know our police are very responsible. So the government should get ready that they will face a lot of people now coming up because of the police have matured now to a stage that people can come out and the police must do the right thing to protect life and property. So these guys promised to come back again. I hope this time the police continue their great work. So guys, we've been here 2 hours now. We need to close out. So Jamal, although you join us late, what say you? Give your closing part and parting comment, then we'll go to Linford and close the show. You muted.
Yeah, thanks for the time. And I know I'm coming a bit late because of some issues, but it was a great show. I think what I was observed here, we all make our own view regarding the situation and we see it different. So that's Liberia, and because we discuss from the different points, different vantage points, because we love Liberia, and that's our point. So we can look at for a different angle. Whatever we are saying here, we're looking for the good to come out of Liberia. So definitely, I want to say thank you very much for having me, and I will be here again on Tuesday. And those wherever you are, please share the show, be part of the bottom line. And this is where we discuss what we think it should be better for the country. And we be critical sometimes. We also be. I'll take some positive line at some point because looking from my own point, that's me as well. So this is how government run. That's how things happen. We can't be who we are. Can't be Liberia. Can't be me. So I think you guys should understand that's how Liberia is. So we all come for Liberia. We want to go for Liberia. So please, and also I also advise that if you have to share your thoughts, please make sure you drop your comment if you want to give a ring. We want to hear from you. It's not we all sit here every day and talk or every night. We want to also hear from you. Let's make this show interactive. So that would be my argument. And please, thank you for joining us. We will see you again on Tuesday, same time on this platform. Jamal from Manchester. Thank you.
Padale, you want to come in there to close? Give your closing comment.
Yeah, really, to be honest, I don't have much to say because I jumped in the middle of the top show. Kingdom, let you guys listen to Donald Trump, saga with the European Union and the protest. And so I don't have much to say, to be honest. I would thank everybody for coming up and those that are also listening to Dr. Long to always come and listen to what people are saying. I believe that Dr. Long is a top show that believes in realities. It is a reality show. How they see things and how they see it. And so, even amongst the panelists, we all don't go along with one direction. Sometimes everybody got their independent view on issue. But still, we go along with one another. We accept one another. We be tolerant, and we will always be tolerant to those that listen to us. So, whoever you have anything to say, you can put your comment down. The bottom line will look at it. We will not react harshly on you. We will take it into consideration and act on it. If your statement was relevant, then we learn a lesson from that. If it was irrelevant, then we also learn a lesson from that. Then we will know who we are. So thank you people very much for coming. And I appreciate that I will be available Tuesday to participate all Tuesday every week. And Fridays, I will come in the middle of the top show also to play my part. So we ought to pray for our country. Our country is in the hand of wrong men. So let all of us pray for that country because at the end of the day, all of us are here. Not all were born in Europe and America. We all were born in that particular place. We got that feeling. That feeling is there until we go in again. So we all should be there to pray for our country. That's what I can say. Thank you very much for allowing me to be on the bottom line.
Info, send us home.
Well, I just want to say that tonight I was just being me. I like to look at things critically from the other side. I don't flow all the time with the crowd. And decide that this is what we do here on the bottom line. We all have different views. We can counter each other's view. It's fair enough because if you say if we are discussing a particular topic and we all have different views, everybody want to make their point and back it. And so not like I just want to intercept other people, but if I say the color is green and you look at it say it's blue, and I know that it's green, I gotta back that and convince you. That's what discussions are all about. That's why we call it platform the bottom line discussion. Okay, so we discuss the issue, we disagree, we agree at times, and we move on. And all of what we say here may not be true. And even some accusations that comes that we hear from the public and we discuss may not be true, but that's what's trending. Okay, so and one thing I want to talk, I will repeat my statement again. The police, in my view, were not professional because they wanted to be professional or because they are that professional, or because they did not have any reason to act. So they couldn't act. Okay. I was one person who 1 week before the protest, I kept calling on the protesters to be quiet, to be calm, protest peacefully, and I also told the police provide the necessary security. Not because I said it happened, but several other media institutions. I listened to all the media institutions, like everybody was expecting that the protest would be peaceful. So the protesters were relatively peaceful. And so the police just have to be professional. They couldn't just go and jump on the people. Now, what if the protesters have started breaking cars and burning cars and the police will stay and fold their hands? No. So there was no reason for them to overly react. And then, so do praise them, not because they were professional, but because there was no reason for them to do that. That's my point. And then, yeah, we did talk about the Ukrainian war, and we hope that things will happen the way it should be. We don't know how it happened, but we are still looking forward to that. And we hope that the war will be a peaceful place, especially those of us from different countries living in Africa, in Libya. If anything happens, we get nowhere to hide. So we pray that it will be peaceful. Thanks for tonight, our viewers. We thank you for coming, and we are here on Tuesday again. And sometimes, when it comes to the viewers, I don't care what their comments they make, but sometimes they try to mislead people. So sometimes it's good to put yourself, because what we do here is very important. We are in the business of educating people. If we say that here lie, all the people that listen to us carry the same lie. So similarly, so if we sit there and somebody come and write lies, some people believe it. So you got to sometimes intercept them. It's not because we're reacting to them, but you got to sometimes intercept them. So I want to say thank you very much, and we'll be here on Tuesday.
So on that note, we want to say it was a very good discussion. We're back here on Tuesday, and thanks to our viewers for being with us. We hope to see you all on Tuesday. And I think next week, Friday, we might also be broadcasting from the great city of Antwerp. Bottomland will be live with the Liberian European Federation. They will be celebrating their 20th anniversary being in existence. So Bottomland will be, who will be broadcasting live from the great city of Antwerp. So, guys, it was a good show, and see you all on Friday. I want to close on this note because it's weekend. You can buy your shabawa, a shamama, or white mama, and just eat the new Liberian artist, Kula Boy.
Play our
boy.
If we're pregnant, speak up.
Only records, Now you bad liquor on a tell what you want you to don't can show yourself. Got plenty dancing, now you dancing, you get copy. I say don't can show yourself. You using Chani, Mr. Chani, I say don't don't can show yourself. You say you young boy, your sling on a papa bob, I say don't can show yourself. Get money, you want eat shawarma, eat some pizza, don't can show yourself.